Homer played in the backyard without wearing pants.
Hey, it floats.
Seeing this, Flanders took out his secret weapon. But as he approached, Homer splashed water all over him. Homer was the most annoying person Flanders had ever met. Not only did he steal other people's CDs, but he also left the coals burning after barbecuing. Flanders had truly never seen anyone like Homer.
All that thought.
This guy Homer was beyond saving, even by God. The priest, however, said Homer might be hopeless, but he believed Flanders was fully capable of facing this trial. Flanders kept trying to save Homer, but things kept getting worse. The priest told Flanders that God never gives up on anyone, and instead of pushing Homer away, he should try to reach out and embrace him. Flanders found Homer and invited him and his family to go on a pilgrimage to the Holy Land next month. Homer thought about it. They would be going to a war zone, on a bus full of religious charlatans, to a country with no pork, in a desert without casinos. Homer could hardly wait to go.
Homer, I can hear your sarcasm from inside the house, and the dishwasher's on. What's going on here?
Marge learned that Flanders had invited them to Israel. She was very happy and gladly accepted, but they insisted on paying their own way.
Oh!
And Homer, put on some pants.
Oh!
The man hates pants.
The Bible study group arrived in Israel, but as soon as they got off the plane, Homer was detained by the local police, just because he said hash browns weren't as good as American pancakes.
They're okay with applesauce. True enough. A truckload of applesauce.
Their first stop was King David's tomb, which was also the place where Jesus had his Last Supper. Then Homer was taken away and even nailed to a cross. Flanders prayed for Homer wherever they went, but Homer was just an American tourist, there to see the sights and try some new foods. Flanders asked Homer to at least have a little reverence, and finally he persuaded Homer to pray with him.
Blah, blah, blah. Homer, quit playing that back.
I'm not. It's my ringtone.
Their next stop was the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, believed to be the site of Jesus' tomb. Flanders stood in front of Jesus' grave and prayed again, but to his shock, Homer was lying inside. This time, Flanders was genuinely angry. This was the holiest place in the Christian world, not somewhere anyone could just lie down. Homer apologized, saying he was simply exhausted from the trip, couldn't adjust to the time difference, and had been walking all day, so he fell asleep in an unknown savior's tomb. The moment Flanders heard this, he exploded with anger. He had had enough. He was on the verge of losing it. Homer had traveled all the way to the happiest place on earth, and all his camera had were pictures of soda cans. Flanders deleted all the photos and smashed the camera, but his actions attracted the police. As a result, Flanders was blacklisted and permanently banned from entering the church.
Banned for life. Homer Simpson, you are not worth saving.
Flanders walked out of the church. Homer felt very guilty and wanted to convince Flanders to come back, but he lost sight of him and thought Flanders had gone into the desert, so he rode a camel to find him. However, Flanders had only gone to a nearby beverage shop to buy a drink. A sandstorm was approaching. Homer wandered through the desert searching for Flanders when a gust of wind knocked him off the camel. Sand got into his shoes and the camel ran away.
Good luck surviving without me.
Homer walked alone in the desert. He desperately needed water. He then saw a sea, but it was the Dead Sea, full of salt. Homer took a sip and nearly died from the salt. Fortunately, Marge and the tour guide arrived in time to save him, but Homer went mad. He imagined himself as the savior and believed he had to unify all the faiths in the Holy Land.
We still have our passports, right?
Oh yeah, gotta keep track of those. The Messiah has the passport.